In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you guys on how to draft a peplum top. I'll be combining this material and this for my peplum top. This is a two-step peplum, and I want to mix it with another Ankara. So this will be for the bigger one, and this will be for the smaller one. So first of all, you fold your fabric into two. Then you fold again. To get the accurate length for your peplum top, you have to minus your half length, that's from your shoulder to your waistline, from your blouse length measurement. So the blouse length I'm working with is 23, while my half length is 15. So I'll be minusing 15 from 23 to get my actual peplum length. So what I'll be having is 8. So because it will be 8 inches. The length will be 8 inches. As you can see from this folded angle, this is where I'll be taking my inserting my waist measurement. So and you know this will be in a circular form, which is a cycle circumference. That's why we're using 6.28. Divide by the waist measurement, which is 33. So you just say 33 divided by 6.28. Whatever you get, that's what you use for your circumference of your waist. So what I have is 5.25. So I'll just go ahead and mark 5.25. Okay, this is my waistline. From this line, I'll mark my 8 inches. I'll be adding 1 inch extra for the folding of my peplum. So altogether, I'll be marking 9 inches. So just move my tape around and mark 9 inches. Connect your lines together. So this is what I have here for my first peplum. This is the biggest part, so I'll cut another one using same waist measurement but a different length. I'll just minus 2 inches from the second peplum. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. Okay, this is what we're having for our first step. So I'll just bring out the second Ankara to cut the second step. So to cut this out, I used like 29 inches of Ankara fabric. So for the second step, I'll also fold my Ankara the way I folded the first one, but this will just be 6 inches plus 1 inch for folding, so I'll be using 7. All I'm going to do is to place this on it like this. Make sure it's accurate to the waist. After placing, I'll just trace out the waist line in order not to go over the measurement again. I feel it saves more time. Okay, after tracing the line, I just use my tape to mark out 7 inches from the waistline like this. 7. You just mark out 7 inches. I actually want 6 inches, but I added 1 inch extra for seam allowance. So I just marked 7 inches and I traced it all around. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. Okay, this is the two peplum. You can see the difference between the two. So I'll go ahead and cut out the lining for my peplum. Then Firstly, I'll open up this part, one part of it, where you see that is two folded area. You open one, just like I just did. I'll do same for the bigger one. So I just placed my peplum on my lining. I'll just cut it out the way it is. Okay, for my lining, I'll be taking out half an inch because I wouldn't like my lining to be coming out when I finish sewing. So I'll just remove half an inch from my lining. So I'll be cutting the upper part of my peplum top now. As you can see from the picture, the peplum top is having a zip which stops at the half length. So the half length I'm working with is 15 plus 1.5 inches, making it 16.5. So this is what I'll be using for my half length. So I just ruled out the line so you can see the line. From that point, I'll mark 1.5 inches for my front zipper. So just mark 1.5 inches. Down to the end of my half length, because as you can see from the picture, the zip starts from the half length. The zip stops at the half length. So I'll just use my ruler to connect it. Okay, so this is for my zipper allowance. So from this point now, I'll take my shoulder measurement. Shoulder I'm working with is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. 3 inches for slope. All measurements will begin from the after the zipper allowance. Then 1 inch from the shoulder line. So I'll just connect the lines together. Then I'll mark my breast point line. That's the distance from my shoulder to my nipple, which is 9.5, and I'll add 1/2 inch extra, making it 10. So I'll be using 10 inches. My under bust is 13 plus 1/2 inches is I'll be using 13.5. Then my half length, which will serve as the rest of the lower part of the material. So I'll just draw my breast point line, my under bust line. Then I will take the distance from my under bust to my breast point. What I'm having here is 3.5. So I'll just mark 3.5 here. I'll connect the line. Very clearer view. So you can see we are having 3 lines here. The middle line is our breast point line, and this is our zipper allowance. So on my breast point line, I'll take my bust to bust measurement. That's the distance between the both breasts. So the distance I'm using is 7. I'll add 1/2 inch to it for same allowance, making it 4. So I'll just go ahead and mark 4 inches all through my lines. On my chest line, I'll mark the 4 inches. And here, where I marked from the line I took from my shoulder slope, I'll come down by 4 inches. You can see. Then I'll connect the lines together. Like this. Just carefully connect your lines together. Okay, you can see this is what we have here. I'll just connect from the shoulder downward like this. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. I'll open up this part, then notch my zipper allowance. Okay, I'll notch the 1.5 inches I kept left for zipper allowance in order not to make mistake. So this is the front part. Okay, since if my style is a combination of two wrappers, I'll be using this wrapper for the side part of my princess bustier. So I will still have to fold my material into two like this. I'll bring out my center front. I'll place it this way, making sure I'm having like 2 inches or 2.5 inches behind. So I'll just place it like this. Then I'll trace out my center front. Okay. I'll just trace out my breast point line, my under bust line, and my half length. So I notched the 3 lines. I forgot to do that earlier on. My breast point, my under bust, and my upper chest line. Just notch them. So when I place it, I'll trace out the lines. Okay, as you can see, I just traced out my lines. I hope you can see the lines clearly. Let me thicken up my chalk so it can be visible enough. So on my breast point line, I'll take my bust measurement. The bust measurement I'm working with is 38. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. So I'll mark 9.5 and add 2 inches seam allowance. On my bust line, on my waistline, on my under bust line, I'll take my waist measurement. The waist I'm working with is 31. 31 divided by 4 is equal to 7.75. So I'll mark 7.75 here and add 2 inches seam allowance. Why my under bust line, which is my actual waistline, is 32. 32 divided by 4 will give me 8. So I'll just go ahead and mark 8 and add 2 inches extra. So I'll just connect my lines together. Then on my shoulder, I'll just trace the line from my shoulder point downward. Then take my armhole measurement. The armhole I'm working with is 17, my round sleeve. 17 divided by 2 will give me 8.5. So I'll just mark 8.5 here. This is my 8.5. Okay. So from that 8.5, I'll use my armhole curve to curve my armhole. Before curving it, I'll come in by 1 inch because this is the front part. Just mark 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1 inch. So I'll just place my ruler and connect from that 1 inch line. So this is what I'm having. I just came in by 1 inch from my armhole. Okay, I'll take out this part. Then on my middle line, which is my breast point line, I'll come out by 2 inches. Then at this area, I'll take out 1.5 inches. Then I'll just connect the lines together. To my breast point, then from my breast point to my under bust. So I'll just cut it out. Okay. can see what I'm having. This is the front part. Then the excess I'm having here, I'll just trim it out like this. Okay, this is what we are having for front part. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut out the back part of my princess bust here. So right now I'll be folding for my back part. Still fold into two. Okay, I'll bring my front and place it on it like this. I'll be placing it same way I placed it. I cut out the back part since it's already having a zipper allowance, and the back will also have a zipper allowance. So just place it like this and cut same piece. See, this for the back and front. I'll open up the back as well. I cut out same thing because the both side will be having a zipper. So this is for the back and the front. While for the side back, I'll be using my other Ankara, just like I did for the front. Okay, I just folded my fabric into two. So I'll just place my bust here. I feel this method is easy and fast. Then I'll fold in my 2 inches where my bulged area is coming out for the breast, just like I just did. Then I'll come out by 1 inch at the armhole area. Just mark 1 inch, 1 inch, and connect. Because the back armhole shouldn't be same with the front. Then I'll just trace out the side part and the front area too. So this is what I'll be having. My waistline too. And the length of my. So I'll just take this out and cut my back part. Remember, you have to come out by 1 inch. Remember? So I'll just trim this out now. Okay, this is what I'm having for the back of my princess bust here. This is side back of it. So I'll cut my lining for both the front and the back princess bust here. Then, okay, I just cut out the lining for my blouse, my princess bust here. I cut out the lining for both the front and the back. So what I'll be doing now is to cut out the neck. Okay, you can see my zipper allowance. So from there I'll mark I'll mark 3 inches. Then for the neck depth, I'll come down by 4 inches. Okay, so it will be a bishop neck, a bishop collar. I'm just using my curve ruler to curve it out. This is for the front part. While for the back, I'll be coming down with just 1 inch. Then 3 inches. notch my zipper allowance. I'll cut same thing for both the lining for the front and the back. This is the front part. I'll be using this paper stay to gum my peplum. I'll be using this paper stay to gum the peplum. This is a 2 years paper stay, the medium size paper stay. It's not the hardest one. I want it to stand a little, not that much. So I'll just cut it out the way I cut my peplum, then use a pressing iron to hold it up together. So this is how I'll place it and cut it out. Then after I finish cutting it, I'll just gum with a pressing iron. Okay, when you want to gum your gum stick, attach it to your cloth, you check out for the shining part. So the shining part has that gumming effect. So that's the area you place on the fabric to gum, on the wrong side of the fabric. So you place the shining part of your gum stay on the wrong side of your fabric, just like this. Then you just gum it on it. This will enable the peplum to stand. I've padded my princess bustier blouse. I used a wadding to pad it, and I also gum the Ankara. This is it. Remember I said earlier on that to be having a front zip, so that's why it's into 2-piece. This is where my zip is going to lie for the front part. So I just have to, this is how it's looking. So for the back, I've joined everything. Join the side with the center back. This is how it's looking, and this is the second piece. So I did same thing with the lining. I've joined everything together. Just joined my lining the way I joined the Ankara. So for my peplum, after gumming with the gum stay, I turned it over with my lining, and this is how it's looking. It's already looking like it's standing. It's kind of standing the way I want. It's not too. You can see how it's looking. It's looking firm. And this is the second step. So what I'll be doing now is to turn my princess bustier with the lining. Then you can see how it's already standing. You can see how it's already standing after gumming and lining it. So I'll just go ahead and turn it over with my lining and insert the front zip. Okay, I just attached my lining to my princess bustier. As you can see, I did not turn the neck area because to be having a bishop collar. If you look at the style, you will see that the zip did not reach the peplum. It's just on the half length. So that's why we'll be having zip in both the front and the back, so it will be easy for us, so it will be easy to wear. So I'll just insert my zip before fixing the peplum. So this is my zip. I just use 1.5 inches to insert it, then attach the back part, shaping the dress before putting the collar. You can see I just attached the front zip. So I'll go ahead now and attach the peplum. I'll first of all attach the smaller one before I attach the big one to underneath it. So I'll do just that then before cutting the collar. So I've joined my back zip to the blouse, and I've also attached my basic sleeve. I'll be dropping a link on how to attach a basic sleeve to your peplum top. So right now I'll be doing the bishop collar. So what I'll do is to measure around the neck, from the front of the neck to the back of the neck. You can notice there I have 2 zip on my blouse because this front zip is stopping at the half length. If you don't put another zip at the back, the customer will not be able to wear the blouse. So I'll just measure from this point, from the starting point of my zip, all around my neck. So what I'm having here is 19 and a half. 19 and a half. So just get a piece of paper and cut my collar. Okay. So I just cut out this 4 inches strip. So this is 4 inches I'm having here. So I'll just fold it into 2 like this. It's 4 inches because I'll still have to divide it into 2 because I want 2 pieces. So this is 4 inches. What I'll be adding half inch to the 19 and a half out to 19 and a half for my joining allowance. So what I'll be using is 10 inches. So this is exactly 10 inches. So this is 4 inches. Since I'm going to split it up, I'll still fold it again because I want my collar to be 1.5 at the end of it. I'll use half inches to attach it to my blouse. So this is it. So now I'm having 2 inches. So what I'll do next is to derive the midpoint. Remember, I fold it into 2. You can see this is 10 inches folded into, I feel I should just go over it again, folded into 2, and I folded again. It's 4 inches now. I cut out 4 inches because I'm still going to split it up. I need 2 pieces of it for my collar. So what I'll be doing now is to derive the midpoint as it's unfold like this. I'll just look out for the midpoint, which is 5 inches. Okay, what I'll do now is to derive the midpoint as it's unfold like this. So I'll just place my tape here. My midpoint is 5 inches. So I'll mark out my 5 inches. Then I'll come down here by half an inch. Okay, then I'll just connect from this point to this point where I marked my midpoint. Just connect it like this. So this is what I'm having. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. Okay, so I'll just open up the collar. Okay, so this is what I'm having. So I'll go ahead and gum one side of the collar using a hard collar gum. So this is my collar gum, and I'm gumming only just one side of it. While gumming, you check for the shining part because that's the place I have the gum. And you place it on the wrong side of your material. So I just attach my steel to the one part of the collar. So I'll just place it like this, right side facing each other. Then I'll leave out like 1/4 inch. At this point, I'll leave like 1/4 inch. Then I'll sew all around and also leave 1/4 inch at the other end. That's this other end. I won't be stitching this open part. This down part will be open. It's just the curved area that I'll be sewing. Like this. I'll sew like this. Then leave 1/4 inch at this lower part and do same at the other end. So you can see I just joined the both together using 1/4 inch. You can see I also left 1/4 inch here, so I'll be able to attach it to my blouse. So what I'll be doing now is to notch the upper area. This side I stitch, I'll just notch it all around. So when notching it, you be careful so you will not cut where you sewed. Just notch gently all around. So I just finished notching it, I'll just flip it over. Okay, this is what I'm having. So I'll just attach it to my dress. I'll attach the side that is having the gun stay on it first, like this, before sewing this on it. So I'll just go and attach it now before bending this over and sewing it on it. Okay, I just attached this part of the gum to my blouse. So at this second part that is not having gum, I'll come and fold. I will be folding it with 1/4 inch like this. I'll just fold it in like this a little. I'll make sure this stitching is not showing. I'll make sure it's inside. I'll just push it in like this inward, then bring this one on it and fold it with 1/2 inch and stitch all around. You can see what I'm saying. This is how it will look like. You make sure you push this area inside, then this one will be on it, then you fold it up with 1/2 inch and stitch round. Okay, I just finished attaching my bishop collar, and this is how it's looking. This is the inside of it, neatly sewn, and this is the back part. Okay, so this is what we have here. My peplum top is ready. Okay, you can see how it's looking. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like, share and subscribe to this channel. God bless you. Bye bye.